He's got a bullet with your name in the chamber. I'm body organ for your ranger. You feel my danger. This time a bitch gets the last word. All your excuses keep coming faster, but your mouth cannot run my blaster. This time the bitch gets the last word. This time the bitch gets the last word. Don't try to lie, cause I know your passwords. Now here's your violent overreactor. This time the bitch gets the last word.
What time is it?
It's Nooner time! Welcome to the Nooner Show with J-Dubs and Rocky.
We did forget to
We're broadcasting live
And Nora
from
and
the
Gina.
PodcastDetroit Studios in Rockin' Royal Oak, Michigan. Be sure to find us at PodcastDetroit.com.
What time is
It's
it?
Nooner time!
Somebody bring me a beer.
beer. Oh, she is on
You can tell
fire.
we haven't been together.
No.
This COVID.
Screw you, COVID.
I know. Screw all of you. Hi, everybody.
The bitch came back. Y'all thought she was gone.
Are you talking about you, Rocky? Rocky. Yes,
I
welcome
was
back.
talking about all the bitches.
Yeah,
all the
that's
bitches.
it. We're back.
You're back.
And
Oh, man, did I miss you guys.
We missed
so
you too,
excited to
Jackie.
be
It's so
back.
nice to come back on your birthday.
I know.
Yes.
Boo-boo-boo-boo.
What a birthday party.
On your
What a birthday.
birthday.
And our big celebration today, 200 episodes.
Yay!
That's kind of crazy.
It
I
is
know.
crazy.
I know. I
Yeah,
know.
we're too young.
We are.
Great. That makes me feel awesome because we just did episode 365 of our show
you
Monday night. So
really?
yeah,
Oh.
So a whole year's worth of episodes.
Wow.
So-
really?
so-
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That's wonderful.
Okay.
no, it's
Now-
like I've said though. I mean, so you don't. I love talking about the stats where. What was it? 235,000 podcasts launched last year, but then depending.
Nationwide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then depending on which one, like depending on which stat you listen to, either 60 to 65% of them never even made it to an episode 10.
Wow.
And they just get abandoned and off they go.
Yeah.
So I mean, like there are like one of the other shows, The Reasons Why I'm Single Girls, just hit episode 200 not too long ago.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, there aren't many floating around that I mean, you guys have been with us since
Yeah.
that very first studio in
Yeah.
Ferndale.
Day one,
Day
baby.
one.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you guys, I still love Taryn, because Karen,
Yes.
was our board op when we
Yep.
started over at Raw Radio X,
Yeah.
over in the Russell, and it was our third episode where she got some phone call like 5 minutes before our show and was like, "Hey, I gotta run. My kid's sick. You're a geek. You've seen me push buttons, push the right buttons, and like bailed on me."
Really?
And then
Really?
she left there 4 months before we did. And did that other studio
Yep.
that laughably was up the street from where we are in
Yeah.
Royal Oak.
Yeah.
And we brought her to the Ferndale studio for our 100th episode because we wanted her to come back in. And she took one look. She walked in, took one look around, threw her arms around me, and went, "You mother." She's like, I should have known.
I can see Karen
I
say
should have
that,
known. I
yeah.
should have waited for you. What's it going to take for me to bring all my shows here? So,
Yeah. And I remember
that's
getting
so
the call.
funny.
I was on vacation. And when she told us about the new studio, I was like, thank God, because we were having so many issues.
So I heard.
Yeah. But that's okay. We're here in 200 episodes.
And
Cheers.
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 J-Dub's
Yay.
birthday.
And it's my birthday.
It's
It's
her
her
birthday.
birthday.
And it is National Sit with a Stranger Day.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is.
Not
Yep.
this year. Nope. No, no,
Well,
not in 2020.
Okay, so it's not actually sitting with a stranger.
Yeah, no.
Be nice to a stranger.
Yeah. Don't be a dick to a stranger. Like-
There you go. Right. Yep. Doesn't matter what side they're on.
Yep.
Right.
There we go.
Amen, sis.
Yeah,
Yeah. So.
I think we could use a little more niceness in the world about now.
Yeah, for sure.
a lot.
A lot more.
A lot.
So anyway, what's
Yes.
going on, guys?
Anywho.
200. You know what? I do want to tell the story. Rocky, we're going to start with you because you're the first one of
Yes.
this group.
Yeah.
She
well,
ne- yeah.
besides you, yeah.
Yeah.
You're the
well,
OG.
I'm the
Yeah.
OG, the real OG.
Yeah.
The wannabe OG. Old girl. Is that what it stands for?
No.
Yeah.
Old
Okay.
girl. No,
Now-
it doesn't stand for that.
All right. Talk about your first. Well, first of all, how many episodes have you done? Do you know? Not quite
Over
200.
100.
Over 100.
Yeah, I've definitely done it.
Wow.
I've been with you more than half the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And you started
Look at you.
not
Yeah.
in Royal Oak. Was it the Ferndale studio?
Well, I've sat in on shows and
Yeah.
and guest interviewed with you
Oh, yeah,
guys,
that's
and
right.
I was interviewed by
Yep.
you guys
Yes.
in the in the Ferndale studio, and I loved the Ferndale studio too. I did think it was so
You
cute in
did?
there. Yeah, I did. I loved it. But yeah, so
I didn't like those stairs.
It was a freaking
lot of
elevator,
freaking
dude.
stairs.
Like,
Neither
Right.
neither did Bob.
Yeah, the
You didn't like the
stairs.
stairs?
Well, you
That's
notice our
funny.
trend. We went from the Russell that had 4 flights
Oh,
of stairs
God,
because
yeah.
the elevator never worked,
Right.
to Ferndale where there was 1 flight of stairs.
Yep.
And then we went to Royal Oak where we were ground level, and now we've got DSC, which we're back up to 1 flight of stairs. So
Yeah.
we got to figure this out. We
Yeah.
gotta-
you gotta level it back down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Relax on
Yeah.
the height. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no elevators, you know.
There is one here.
Is
Well,
there?
I know. I did tell
Yeah.
you that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
She goes, oh.
She's
Does
like,
it-
okay, that's
I
acceptable.
know. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
take
So
it.
anyway, go ahead. What was your? When did you officially?
God, I don't even remember now because it was so long ago. I don't even remember the first interview that I did with just the two of us.
Really?
Do you remember?
I was going to ask that question. So now you don't remember.
No.
You
No.
guys
I
don't
don't
remember?
remember. No, because you
It
were
wasn't memorable?
guest
I
co-hosting,
was-
so I don't remember the actual.
Yeah, because I had
first
sat
one.
in on so many shows. and-
Actually, I do. I'm pretty sure it was a New Year show.
I think that was the first one that I guest interviewed with.
Oh, it was.
We did, yeah, because you brought in, it was me, John Paul, Liv. We all came in together on that one. But I think actually I sat in with the Spice Guys. I think that was the first show I sat in with you guys on.
God. That's why you don't remember.
Yeah.
it.
That was before I stopped drinking. So it's that was probably it's still one of my all-time favorite shows.
Yeah,
is
that
the
was
Spice
funny.
Guys. Yeah.
So, yeah, I was going to ask you. So, what has the experience been like for you?
It's been good. I mean, you know me, I'm so shy and I like to be in my little
You're learning to talk to strangers.
I am and not being so awkward. Like I feel like it definitely has helped my social skills. I'm like a dog, that you have to take to puppy daycare.
Obedience-
So, yeah, and
obedience
obedience
school.
that,
Have to work on your socialization.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Got to socialize me, but you keep me on one side of the fence and then the other dog on the other side of the fence until we can play nicely
Play
together.
together.
Then we can play together. So I feel like I'm on the other side of the fence where I feel like I play nice now with a lot of other people. And,
Yeah.
I play nice with you, right?
You
Yeah.
do, but you always have. But you
I'm
always
the only
have
one you
to-
don't play nice with. That's
And-
why I'm over here.
Yeah.
You're over there.
Well, and that's a given. That's your mother.
Well,
You're
that's
not
right.
supposed-
we've been
you're not
social
supposed to play nice.
distancing for years, way before COVID
When
started.
COVID happened, I was like, I've literally been preparing for this my entire life. I
Yeah.
have a mini fridge and a coffee pot in my bedroom. Like, I'm good.
Hey, Karen. Hey, everybody.
What's been the most memorable?
Oh,
That is
Whose
not
phone?
mine.
That's
oh,
you.
it is.
That is
Wait,
you.
wait. No, wait, you guys. It's Jordan, and she's
Oh,
FaceTiming
okay,
me.
yeah, let's-
Yeah, we got to
okay.
take this.
You have to take it. Hi,
Hello?
Jordan.
Where are you?
Hello.
She probably
Hello.
Huh?
Hello.
She probably
No, no,
I'm
she
sure
keeps
she
throwing-
FaceTimed her for her birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
okay,
not.
Jordan, call me back.
Call back. Call back.
All right, let's see if she does.
Even on the 200th show, she can't get the ringer off.
Yeah.
I had to take
Wait,
that call,
look.
though.
Why start now?
Turning
Okay.
it on. How
No,
new.
that's on my bucket list for next year.
It's our 200 show. I still can't
know.
believe that.
All right,
Like,
what's been
wow.
the most memorable for you?
I don't know. We've had so many fun experiences. I mean, we've interviewed so many great people.
Yeah.
And
What
so many
interview do you
moving
think
shows?
stood out or really made an impact? Like you left and went, okay, I'm going to do something different. After
We've
listening.
had so many. I don't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I could
it's hard to
really-
pick.
Yeah, it is really hard to pick.
Yeah.
I could probably do a top 5, maybe.
Really?
Yeah,
You could? Oh, I don't even think I
yeah,
could do that.
I don't know because we've just had so many people on that were like holy shit stories. And
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. So I feel like
Okay.
my
Fair
top
enough.
5. the Sicily's pizza guy.
Oh,
I just loved
yeah.
him so much.
Well,
he was
pizza,
so
He was amazing. Though.
Yeah, he
so
was.
cool.
He
yeah,
was.
and
I
I
liked him a
honestly
lot.
like fell back in love with pizza.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did.
You know, like
you did.
it, like
after
I
that.
went back to my own job and was like, you know what? We're in
Yep.
this situation, which was nice because COVID hit, and then my
Right.
whole
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
my whole
Yeah.
plans for the year shifted. And
Music.
everybody, yeah,
Yep.
you know, it was. I don't want to say stuck there, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All my plans were canceled, so I was
Yeah.
only working.
Yep.
So that came at a nice time. And then the Camrys.
I was just thinking the
yeah,
same
those
thing.
two.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
what an
Yeah,
incredible
they just,
my
couple.
God.
They just celebrated their anniversary.
did.
I
Yeah,
don't
they
remember
were
how many
so
years,
great.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
I think those. I mean, those two are probably like.
that really.
Yeah. Like,
Well,
I
my
love those
favorite was
ones.
Busted.
We're gonna go
Oh,
with
yeah, I
you.
like those
next.
Oh, that's
Wait
right.
a minute.
Do you have
Look
it
at
on?
those, man.
Look at
Look
them.
at look
They're
yeah,
up.
those
At attention.
they're up.
They're at attention.
They're like,
And mine are non-existent unless I wear a bra. So
I know,
it's-
same here. It'd be a waste
Whatever,
of money
yeah.
for me to go
Whatever,
there. But
birthday girl.
okay, so yes,
Yes.
let's talk about how you got here, Nora.
yes,
Yes.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how I got here. I was living wonderfully
Oh.
in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, in the
They
sun
have,
and
they have
sand.
hurricanes there. A lot of
But
hurricanes.
they didn't have any when I was there, so
It's 'cause
it was
you were there.
Then a,
Right.
Yeah.
then a hurricane came through.
right.
Named
and
Jackie.
and I'd come home to visit, and I'd always go see my buddy Jackie,
That's
and
right.
she'd make dinner for us.
That's
and,
right.
You know, we'd drink wine and we'd talk,
Yep.
and she'd say, "Hey, you need to move back here so you can be my co-host on
Yep.
the podcast show." And I'm like, "Jackie, I'm not being on no podcast show.
And I would literally
Stop asking me."
be a fly on the wall at these little dinners and like rolling laughing at you two. And I'm like, God, I wish Nora lived here so she could
Yeah.
be your co-host because she would be so good on the show. She's so funny. And then fast forward.
And I'm
And,
like,
and how many years ago was that, Nora?
like what, 3 years,
Was
4
it?
years now, something like that.
Yeah. Mhm.
And she goes, "Well, just come and sit in, and if you don't like it." But see, what people don't know is Jackie used to be my supervisor. That's how we met. And she wanted me to go to come to Detroit to another salon and you know, manage that. And I'm like, "I'm not going to no, you know, I'm quitting. I'm tired of doing this. Not going to."
How many times did you quit,
Right.
Nora?
I'm ready to quit.
You're like
I'm over
Rocky.
this.
Rocky's always
I know.
quitting too. It's every
I'm
other
like,
month.
I'm
never
over
been
this.
fired, though, so
I'm over
I
this
feel like
hair
we can say
business.
that.
I'm quitting.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Well, you know, just give me a year. Go over to Detroit. Give me a year. And if you don't like it, then you can come back and quit." And I'm like, "Okay, Jackie, I'll give you a year." And I go over there, and I was there like almost 3 years. And then she goes, "Well, I need you back in Flint. Can you, you know, how do you feel about coming back to Flint?" It's like, oh. So I think she put roots on me. You know, that's what black people say when you hypnotize and you put voodoo on them. They call it roots. So she put roots on me. Like
I'm
she
so
got
sorry.
some hair.
Did I?
You did. You
Really?
made a doll.
How can I do that to everybody else?
I don't know. That's your superpower. So, so yeah. So yeah, and came in, and of course, she always sees something in me that I don't see. And the reason I'm saying that too is because I was watching this show last night, and it's called Undisputed. Uncensored.
Okay.
And Tyrese Gibson, he's famous for the Coke commercial
Okay.
on the bus and all that. And anyway, he's in all the Fast and Furious movies and
Yep.
stuff. So he was, they sit and they just tell their story.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying how John Singleton, which is a director, he's since passed away now. And he said he would always tell him, "I want to put you in this movie. You need to be acting." And he was like, "I didn't want to act." I was like, "No." So he said he would run from him. Like they'd be at parties and he'd go the other way. He even changed his phone number so he would stop calling
Don't
him.
get any ideas,
See-
Nora.
yeah.
Don't change
Yeah.
your phone number.
Yeah.
I'll
So-
find
I was
you.
gonna
And
say,
he said, I remember him saying at the end of all of that, he was like, he saw something in me that I didn't see. And I'm so thankful to you. And he was so thankful.
Aw.
to John Singleton for it, you know.
Aw.
So and you always do, and it's like that Jackie, God.
Aw. See, there was a nice
But I
ending to
love
that
it.
story.
I
Wasn't
love
sure
you,
how
lady.
to go
I
with
love
this.
you
I love
I
you
wish
so
we
much.
could hug.
Yeah.
So what's been the highlight for you?
You know, wow. I think Hannah Berry's story, because
I
she
love
is a
her too,
hairstylist,
yeah.
and because of where she came from, and now she has this salon. Now she came out of her basement. She
Yeah.
has all these products that she's selling, and I mean, it's just crazy. She has a beautiful salon, and you know, just where she came from in her entrepreneurship. And then the salon I worked at, the Harringtons, and you know,
Yes.
they just
Yeah.
gave me a lot of incentive to not to quit.
Yeah.
You know, every other time.
Yeah.
But you know, I've been doing hair a long time, and you do need that and I think you need that with
Yeah.
everything you're doing
Right.
in any profession, because you
Right,
can't
right.
get burnt out.
Right.
You know, and I haven't had a chance to go to a lot of hair shows like I used to.
Yeah.
So that's kind of made me get a little burnout, you know, because normally I'll recharge
Right.
after you go and
Right.
see all the stuff.
Right.
And I would say Steve, Curto, I would say them too, and Busted, of course. And let's see, I had one more, and I can't remember who it was, but like I said, we've had
The mayor.
the mayor.
Mayor,
Of
yes.
course,
she's on my
Karen.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
she's here right now. Of
Is
course,
she?
Yeah,
Karen.
I add her,
Hi,
Yeah, she's
Karen.
on.
I add her to my
Yeah.
list.
Yeah, she's
Of course,
we
Karen.
still call her the mayor.
I
I don't
do.
care. She's
I
will
call her
always
that.
be
Wait,
the
when
mayor.
can we call her the governor?
I know.
President.
The
the president.
yeah.
When can we do that?
Yeah, I just did her hair yesterday, and
Oh.
it's like I always I call her the mayor. And
Yeah.
my husband, he'll say, you know, how many people you have tomorrow, and I'll say, you know, well, I got the mayor coming in. He's like, Karen Weaver, you know, that's how he says it all the time.
She will always be the mayor.
I'm like, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
mayor. You know, so of course her, and made me forget the other person when you did that.
Oh, sorry.
God.
Sorry. And she just ended it with a compliment. Now I ruined
Yeah.
it, so it's probably.
God, Jackie,
I
you
know.
made me forget. So okay,
They'll
I'll
come back to
remember.
you.
We'll come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll remember.
Okay.
Every time you guys say
But I'm
another
just
person,
so-
I'm like, yeah, I add that one to my list. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
add that one to my list. Yeah, yeah, we
I-
add that one.
but I'm just so glad to be in this group
Thank
of
you.
people. We have so much in common.
Yeah.
And we really do, everybody, because I know everybody watching, they're like, they probably scratch each other's eyes out and all that.
Well, not
but
in public.
Right.
Well, it's just Rocky and Jackie. Everybody
That's
else
it.
gets
But
along
She's a
good.
healthy
we
dose.
really,
of
really,
mother-daughter,
really,
yeah.
really, really love each other.
We do.
We
So,
do.
We have a
You
great
know,
respect.
and then, you know,
for each
and then
other.
here
Well,
comes Gina.
Yes.
And
Let's
she
go
just
to this
fits right in here.
Not only fits right in, just kind of like takes over.
Right.
Here
That's
we go.
the teacher.
Because
That's
of the teacher.
Because I
Yeah.
don't know a
Yeah.
stranger.
right.
My sister has always said, "You will talk to anybody,"
And
I
that's
will.
true.
That is
That is
true.
true.
I
That's
will
true.
talk.
Yeah.
So I don't know the definition of a
Yeah.
stranger,
Right.
because I can talk to anybody anytime. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so.
So my story. So I looked it up. My first show. Well,
Oh.
first of all, you asked me for many years to come be
Yeah.
a guest.
I told you she put roots on you too.
She did. She did put roots on me
Mhm.
Yep.
for many, many years. And I always said no, because I was a classroom teacher at the time, you know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Michigan public school teacher. And I always felt, though I supported your mission and your show and the belief and all of that,
Yeah.
I didn't feel it was a platform that, as a public education teacher, that I should be talking about drinking and
Drinking
you know,
at noon.
No,
yeah,
but
no, I
yeah,
get that.
Drinking.
but
Yeah.
but whatever other
Yeah.
topics that
Right,
you
right,
know, if
right.
kids or parents or the school board heard, and
Right.
I just didn't want to blur the lines of
Right.
you know, though you have
Understandably.
yeah,
Yeah.
2 lives,
Yep.
but I still try to stay, you
Yeah.
know.
Yep, Miss Guccini's
Miss
an
Guccini.
alcoholic.
Yeah.
Really. She drinks at noon on Wednesday.
There we
Right.
go. Right, exactly. So for many years you asked, and you always asked about a back to school show, and I always
Yeah.
said, yeah, great idea, no. No. However, in June of 2019, I retired, unexpectedly so, but I got the opportunity to, after 30 years, to walk away from the public education system. And at the time, it really wasn't what I initially thought, but I embraced it. You know, I took that leap of faith from the beginning and thought, all right, I've done this for 30. Now there's something else I meant to do. And Jackie swooped down with her talons and
Plucked you right out of
plucked
there.
me right out of retirement.
She didn't even take all of her stuff out of the classroom before Jackie was just there.
No.
Picked her up
I
out of the
got
parking
you.
lot. Yeah, she walked outside the school. She's like, leave all that behind, honey. You're coming with me.
Come to the drunk side.
Come to the fun side.
Exactly.
Yep.
So my first show, I was a guest. It was show 173. I looked it up, August
Wow.
29th. So it was last year. It was the very first show of the season, and it was a panel, and we talked
Yep.
about like
Oh,
Right.
Right,
That
that
was
was
a fun
fun.
show.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, there was T-Money
Yes.
and
Yeah.
The Harringtons.
yeah, the Harringtons.
Marshall was there, yeah.
Yes.
Monica. Yeah.
Yes, it was a
Yeah.
great show, and it was
Yeah.
so much fun.
Yeah.
It was.
And you know what? Going into it, I'm like, I have really nothing to say. I always have.
You
a ton to
always
say.
think
Say
that.
what?
But you always think that.
Right, but I had never done anything like this. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I had talked for 30 years to kids, but they had to listen to me. So, you know, I thought, all right, I'll go and do this, and this will be fun. And then Jackie will leave me alone.
No.
However, that didn't happen because she asked a couple shows later. It was actually 2 episodes later. Actually 175.
Holy crap, look at those
I
notes.
know.
I know. September 29th.
Teacher.
I know.
Oh,
That was my first show that I was a co-host, and I have not stopped yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
here. So
And you've been amazing.
Yeah.
well, thank
Amazing.
you. You know what? It's my years of in the classroom, thinking on your feet and being able
Yeah.
to talk
Yeah.
to people and ask questions. And sometimes I sit down and I have no idea what I'm going to ask the guest,
Yeah.
but I listen to them talk and that natural
That's what we all do, though.
curiosity.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah.
for me, who likes to like kind of have a plan, you know, like know what. I don't always know because this is all so new to me. I've learned so much about music and different businesses and industries and you know, people who follow their dreams and
Yeah.
and
What has stood out for you? Like, what have you really, gotten out of the show? Like listening to all the different interviews.
yeah, all the different interviews. Just you know what? Because I did the same thing for 30 years and never once thought that I would do anything else.
Yeah.
I just kind of thought that, you know, I would continue to teach. And even at the time I retired because I didn't want to move. You know, my district wanted me to move buildings and I didn't want to do it. And I thought, you know what? I don't have to. I am in a position where I can say, thank you for the opportunity, but I'm
yeah.
out. And
Yeah.
you know what? It made me think when Dr. Karen Weaver said, let them underestimate you.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that wasn't that so
resonated.
good.
Yes.
Yes.
That resonated with me
Yep.
because when my district said, you're moving to another building, and I had only been at this building 2 years because the building I had been at before that closed. So I'd only been at this building for 2 years. And when my building principal and the powers that be decided that I would move to another building, fabulous building, I knew the principal, I knew a lot of the staff, I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to pack up and start over. And
Right.
I didn't want to be the new person on the team, be the new person in the building, even though I wasn't new to the district.
Yeah.
But I knew a lot of the families that were at this school. I just didn't have it in me. And so when they said, this is where you're going, I cried my tears and I dried my tears and I
Said no.
I
I'm
said,
not.
and I did. I said, no, I'm not. I don't have to, and I'm not
Right.
going to. And my husband, thank you, Jesus, he was so supportive.
Yeah.
You know, he said from the beginning, I told you, you know, when you had the flood in your classroom in February to retire. So, you know what? I retired in June and never looked back.
Yeah.
Never
Good
looked
for
back.
you.
And it's been great because I've had the opportunity to do this and so many other things that I would never have had the opportunity. So
right.
as Dr. Karen Weaver said, let them underestimate
Oh,
you.
yeah.
You
Yep.
know, and that resonated because
And don't you think everything happens for a reason? I'm like that too. Everything, I forgot how you put it, but it leads to something.
to something else.
Yeah.
And I
Connecting
knew,
the dots.
yeah, and I
You know?
knew that at the time it all happened. I kept thinking, all right, there's a reason. There's something else I should be doing.
Yeah.
And although I didn't know what, because this one hadn't ambushed me yet.
But
I
she's
knew
just
It was
waiting.
probably one of those things where she was ambushing you constantly.
Right,
You just noticed it.
subconsciously.
Right,
All
I
the
noticed
time.
it,
Subconsciously.
Yeah, I do
Exactly.
it very
Center stage.
subtle,
Yeah.
so you don't know
Right.
what's
And I
happening.
still think
Yeah.
to this day, as I'm doing this, I'm teaching English online. I'm
Yeah.
also in a position where, so many schools are virtual now.
Yeah.
And very dear friends of mine
Right.
she's a teacher, he's working, she's teaching high school online from the home. She's got 2 kids. She's got a 4th and 5th grader. So I call myself the governess because I'm there 3 days a week with the 4th and 5th grader, helping. They of course they can get online and they can follow a schedule and all that, but making sure that they're online on time and that they're completing their assignments, because mom is busy teaching high school downstairs and dad's at work. So I'm there 3 days a week, just making sure. So you know what? That's one of the great things about I'm in the position where I can go
Yeah.
3 days a week
Right.
and, boss young children around.
So you don't miss it. No.
I don't, because then I get to say, are you pouting? Not that I care, but I just, is that a pouting face?
Go ahead, tell the principal. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Go tell your mother.
He's not the boss of me.
Go tell your mother. What's she going to say? I can't come back? I hope so. No.
So what would you say so far to date? What's the main thing you've gotten out of the show? Like, what do you think about when you think of, all the interviews that you've been a part of?
It's been interesting just to hear the different stories that people tell, like things I had no idea about. As I said, the music industry, I've learned so much from you, from the two of you. I've learned about, people who've had, we had a gentleman on who, I can't think, his name is escaping me, but he custom
The guitar.
the guitar.
Yeah.
Wilson
Like,
guitars.
Yeah.
George Wilson.
George Wilson, thank you.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Artie, the
Psychic.
psychic,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so many
Yeah.
crazy talents that and gifts that people have been able to do. People who've just believed in themselves and started a cheer company and
Yeah.
and started a salt room, and I mean there's so many. Rio and her music. I mean
Right.
there's so many amazing people that I've had the privilege to meet
Yeah.
that I never once thought that I would ever, be in this position. And
Yeah.
I'm so fortunate that I get to do this,
Yeah.
that I get to come and hang out with you girls.
Well,
Aw.
I keep going back to Busted because I'm so. But
she just really is
but-
showing those babies
She's
off
trying to
there.
get a 25% discount.
I know. And a swipe code.
yeah,
but
for
no,
her
but
followers.
Lee's story when she said I had a dream
Right.
Yes.
that I was supposed to open this store in Detroit and
And
it was going to
she
be
did
called
it.
Busted, and she didn't
Yeah.
even live here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was
Right.
from here, but she
Really?
didn't live here.
Right.
Yeah.
And she was like, how am I going to get my husband's job? That's not going to happen.
Right.
But she stuck with it. She
Yeah.
could have said, I can't do that because my husband can't leave his
Right.
job.
Right.
Right.
So whatever.
Right.
Names
And
are,
she did it.
yeah,
So-
names are escaping me because I'm never good with names. The only reason I know mine is because it's on my hand. Who was
She's
the woman? Right.
tattooed, yeah.
Who was the woman that she had a hair salon and she planned for 40 years?
Oh,
Oh, the girl with the barber.
with the
Yeah.
barber.
Yes.
That's here. Yeah.
Dawn.
Dawn.
Sanford. Wasn't
Yes.
I think it was Sanford. I
Yeah.
think.
Yes.
Pretty sure.
I think so. How about her?
Yes.
She bought little things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Year
that-
after year
right.
after
Yep.
year.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
She
just-
was
Yeah,
amazing.
that was a great
She just
story.
knew she was
Yes.
going to do
Yeah.
this one
At some
day.
point.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
it took her 40, I think it was like 40 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
talk about
Before she actually-
dedication.
right.
Yeah.
And not giving up on your dream.
Right.
And not
Yeah.
giving
That's
up on your
crazy.
dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
amazing. Just amazing. So like I said, I'm just so privileged to be here. And you know what? I don't know what else I'm going to do. I know that there's something else that I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm taking it as it comes. As it comes.
As it comes.
As it
Yeah.
comes. And that's what I said at the start of the year. I'm
I
taking
know.
it as it comes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue to take it as it comes.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah.
Because 2020 is the year.
Yeah. Great year, guys.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Here's
What's
the thing,
on our
though.
bucket list this year?
I blame you. Yeah, no kidding. I blame
Did
you
I
because
jinx
you and those
that?
damn lists.
No.
COVID was not on my list. I'm
COVID,
sorry.
no.
You know what?
Thanks,
I
Bernard.
feel like
Thank you, Karen. Everybody's saying
Aw.
stuff.
I feel like if we get all the shit out in 2020, the rest of the decade should be a breeze.
That
you know what
it
I mean?
should.
Like,
It
is.
from
It's gonna be-
2021
right.
Yeah.
until
Right.
Yeah, because look at
2029.
all the crazy things, the
Yeah.
fires and
Coasting.
the
Oh my
storms,
God. Everything.
and
The
oh my
and then
God,
unrest, everything.
Yeah,
But you know
well, the
what?
accident that happened in Lebanon. I mean, it's like
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much.
crazy.
It's all uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It is.
It is. It's just uncomfortable.
And I don't
but
think we ever thought that at least I didn't. I thought we'd see clearly. That's what we talked about.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
seeing clearly in
We did.
2020
Yeah.
and our
Uh-huh.
vision.
Oh, we're
and
seeing
Right.
clearly, all right.
Yeah.
We're seeing all the shit just piled up on our doorstep.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah.
crazy that this is what we are experiencing. But at the same time, you know what? 2020 is a year that is making history
Right.
in
Yeah.
so many ways. And
Yeah.
we're
Right.
part of the history.
Yes.
So
Right.
let's learn from this
Right.
and how we can make a difference in the future.
And we're
Exactly.
blessed because how many people get to have a therapy session every Wednesday
Right.
at noon?
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
we always get something from it. I don't
Right.
care
Yeah.
who it is.
Right.
Yeah.
I
You know?
agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it so amazing is that today is the national holiday, Sit with a
It
Stranger
is.
Day.
And we sit with a stranger every single week. So.
Well, let's talk about that, Rocky, since
Yeah.
you are the brand ambassador.
I
which,
am.
by the way, we saw you on Fox too.
Did you?
Yeah,
that was
Ooh.
exciting.
We just have to figure out how to post that link. I don't
Yeah,
know how to
we'll,
post
Yeah.
I'll
it.
figure that
I
out.
posted it all
So-
wrong yesterday,
you
which
did.
is
You
so
did.
I
She
took
posted
it down.
the press or our notice.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I'm like, what is all this stuff?
'Cause I
under
was like,
here?
what is
How
that?
do you get just the video? I don't need all the riffraff stuff, but
Yeah, so today is National Sit with the Stranger Day.
it is a
brought-
holiday
it
out
is.
of Michigan.
Yep.
Mhm.
Brought to you by my dusty little dope water here. Gotta
Yeah.
Clean this off so she looks good.
Yep.
She is a beauty.
Yep. Brought to you by Dope Water.
Yes.
And it's, obviously COVID was unexpected.
Yeah. Yeah, because this holiday was established last year
Mhm.
after September.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but so it's just about sitting and having a conversation because this whole show was birthed
Yes.
From
off
that.
of somebody sitting
Yep.
and having
Having-
stranger conversations.
Sometimes I
okay.
stand.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a moment.
Yes, talk
okay,
about
let's
that.
Just go back.
Yep. Go back.
For my entire life.
Jeez.
Okay.
This is not your therapy session here today,
Oh,
just for
I
the
just
record.
took it over. It
Yes.
is now.
Yes.
So
All right.
for my entire life, we
Mhm.
would go to the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
The
You had to
restaurants.
eat. We had to
Mhm.
eat.
Yeah, we had to eat. We had to have groceries.
Mhm.
It literally doesn't matter. There could be no one around
Yep.
for miles.
Yep.
And the
She'll
one
find 'em.
person within 20 square
Yep.
miles will be talking to my mother.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And like we'd be at like the grocery store checking out and like a simple how's your day going? Oh, it's going good. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden this woman or gentleman is talking about how they're a single parent and how
Uh-huh.
this is just a second
They
job.
just spill
They're going
everything.
to school.
Everything
and, like,
comes out.
Everything.
So
Yeah.
wait, let's stop there right there and let's turn the table and ask you
Yes.
about your vision and getting started.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So she gave us a little background, but what gave you?
I think it was that.
Well, I
really.
think it was
I
that,
just
but-
love to hear stories, and I think
And-
that everybody has a story, and you can learn from.
But the thing
everybody.
about you, Jackie, you're truly interested.
Oh, I
Yeah.
It's not like
absolutely.
It's
like a
genuine
person when they're
curiosity,
talking to you, and you're like,
100%.
oh, I wish she hurry up and stop
That's
talking
me.
to
I'm like,
yeah.
yeah. Or
But-
I'm just like so uncomfortable, so it's like getting over that awkward
Yeah.
hump.
But
you
Jackie,
know?
but Jackie's like, she's like listening, and she's like,
Yeah,
okay, and so
very
why did you do
intense.
that? And it's
Yes.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, this is how the show.
Right.
And when I heard, I think I got found out about the podcast. I said you should start a
Oh,
podcast,
right.
and she was like,
because you were
a what?
recording. at
Yeah.
that, yeah.
And she
Oh,
was
a
like, "What's a
podcast.
podcast?" I was like, "It's like a radio show, but it's not on the radio. It's online and blah blah blah." I think it's like it's takes everything that you are.
Uh-huh.
And
you
this
know,
was how
and
long ago?
Oh, it was it? I think
over
it was,
200 episodes ago.
Yeah,
is
it's
when we
Yeah.
started out.
2015.
We know that.
I think,
Yeah.
right?
So, yeah.
2015, 5
I
years.
think
Some-
was it
somewhere in there,
2015?
Yeah.
Yep.
So and I
Because
said,
you guys started a couple months before we
Right.
moved into that
We
studio.
started in June of 2015.
yeah,
I think
'cause
they
we-
were in that studio for a while, the
Yeah.
Ferndale studio for
Yep.
a minute.
No,
Yeah.
we moved there May of 2015, and then we became Podcast Detroit and assimilated you
Yeah,
guys
we didn't start
July of
with them.
2015.
Yeah, we started. It was
Oh,
actually
he's
August
saying he
when we
moved
started.
into the Ferndale
Yeah.
studio. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm caught
Uh-huh.
up. Okay,
That's when
I
we
thought you were
moved.
talking about moving into
Denise and
Gorillas.
I, shout out
Yep.
to Denise,
Yeah.
by the way.
Hey,
'cause,
Denise.
Yeah, when I called Denise to say, hey, you want to do a radio show? She was like, yeah, okay. And I was like, all right, great. Here, I'm going to fill out the paperwork.
Yeah.
And I did.
And then they
submitted
go,
it.
and they're just like,
Well, let me tell that part of the story. I
Okay.
hope Denise is listening. But we went to this meeting, And we had no idea what a podcast was because, of course, I don't know how to turn down my phone. Denise doesn't either. We still don't know how to use phones. We're still in the flip phone thing.
Yeah.
But so we went to a meeting with all these other people that had shows already. They were already into it. They already knew. We had no idea what we were doing. In fact, I'll never forget somebody getting a little sarcastic with us. And making like
No,
a
wasn't
little
that one?
it was a different network. I'll never forget the comment. It was something like, "Okay, well, you guys can go do have your little tea and crumpets or whatever." And we're just like, really? Okay, where are you now?
Yeah. Bitch.
Bankrupt
Oh,
with a folded bar.
Wow.
We're not
Lost
gonna
the
go
studio.
there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that out loud? That was my inner monologue. I hate when my inner monologue comes
We're
out.
not-
I
we're
do.
not-
I hate. Yeah.
We're not going to say anything. But
Wow.
anyway, so that
Anywho.
first meeting was very uncomfortable, very intimidating. We had no idea what we were doing, and we and I won't forget the first show too. The very first show was probably, I'm going to have to say, our best show as far as being prepared. Denise and I, we would talk every day. We did so much research, and we would just. And then the show was just incredible, except for
It didn't air.
it didn't air because it didn't work. So the guy didn't know what he was doing, and it was such a bummer. I was like, "How do we find the link?" There's no.
There's
link.
no
Yeah,
way.
honestly, don't feel bad because I remember. So it was Memorial Day weekend of 2013 when I called up Bob and said, "Hey," because with the Russell thing, I had done a couple of I'd been a guest on a couple of their shows early in the year. And then they said, "Hey, somebody called in sick. Can you come be a co-host?" Yeah, I did that. Then they called back and said, "Hey, our Monday night show from 9 to 11 sucks and they're bailing. You want 2 hours of airtime every week?" Sure. I call up Bob. "Hey, man, this coming Monday, we're going to start a podcast." Bob's response was, "What the F is a podcast?"
Really?
And I was like, "Dude, relax. We're going to go get drunk and put mics in our faces. It'll be fine."
Oh, God. Yeah, Denise and I weren't like that at all. She was like, "What's a podcast?" I'm like, "I don't know, but
we're
we'll
gonna
figure
go
it
there.
out."
We'll
Yeah.
find out when we get there.
So
Who
yeah,
was your first guest?
Through our eyes.
yeah,
right?
through our
Yep.
eyes. They're an awesome band.
Yeah.
And it was a great
They're the
interview.
best people.
Yeah,
Oh
they
my
really
gosh,
are.
They're such great people.
Yeah, we need to have them back
Yeah,
on
we
now that we
should.
have the equipment that
Yeah.
works and we know what
Yeah.
we're doing.
Yeah.
So the show never got recorded.
Well, it
It did.
did, but it came
wasn't.
out really like.
Was
Like
it
there was-
gravelly or something?
Well, it was like because I listened to it. You know, I was listening because I was so excited for them.
Oh.
And it was like just in and out, and you just
Oh,
really
Yeah.
couldn't hear
Well,
it.
and then what happened was the mics were not off at the end of the
so she
show.
was sitting there talking so much shit about me.
No,
for like,
I wasn't. I was not talking shit at all. But Denise and I were saying how great we did. And
such a
Jeff
good
Paul
job.
starts texting me.
You're like,
he's
yes.
"Mom, we can hear everything you're saying." I'm like,
They
"Oh,
didn't
shit,
get the
I thought we
interview,
were
but they
done."
got the praise
Yeah.
of themselves after. So it's
We're
all
like,
good.
"Damn, we
so
were
guess
good."
what? You know what? Now everyone who was listening was like, "Wow, they were really good." Like, how do we find the rest of this?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. But
Oh,
200 interviews later, I'm telling you, I have referenced so many of those interviews and
Yeah.
stories on different projects that I'm
Yeah.
working on. I
Yeah.
go back to now what would so and so
But you can't help not to.
Right,
That's what I'm
exactly.
saying. It'll just come to you. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that's what she,
Right.
Oh, and I know the other one I was going to say, the Motown Mansion.
Oh, that one was so cool.
Oh.
Cynthia.
Yeah.
That was
Cynthia
cool.
was so cool.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
cool story.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still
that was
talk. I
another-
can't. I
yep.
still talk about it, and it
Yep.
was just amazing.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
surreal just to be in there and
Yeah.
walk through and
Oh god,
You know.
It was so
that
cool,
mansion.
yeah,
Remotes
Oh.
are always fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
That
you guys,
one
you
was
guys did a
unique.
couple of the DMAs, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. That
Yeah.
was fun
Yeah.
too. Oh, remember the first one we did? We were only supposed to broadcast
Oh,
for an
yeah.
hour.
Doing the
We
whole show,
couldn't-
didn't you?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
couldn't walk
Yeah.
away
You
from
were
the
at
table.
that one, right,
Yep.
Dave?
Yep.
Yeah, we couldn't
couldn't
walk
walk
away.
away from
In
the
fact,
table.
the
Yeah.
the show was over. The
Oh, and people
Detroit
kept
Mus-
walking up
Yeah.
to the table wanting to
the
sit down with you.
Detroit
Yeah.
Music Awards had
Had
ended,
and we
there
were-
was
we shut the
still
place down.
a
Yeah.
line of people that were coming in, and we couldn't tell them no. We're like,
Yeah.
we'll leave soon.
Yeah. They're like,
They're
Dave-
cleaning
no, I
up
was gonna say
around
they're cleaning
us.
up
Yeah.
around us, sweeping,
Yeah.
and everyone's still.
Dave, do you have a memory
A nooner memory.
Other than explaining to people what the name of the show means and what it doesn't mean.
Thank you, Dave.
They're like, the hell goes on in these studios on Wednesdays?
I'd be scared to hear your explanation. Who knows?
I mean, it's two ladies. They come in and they get bombed on wine, and they just tell stories. Yeah. I guess probably two of my favorites I would have to say was one. I was in the Ferndale studio. It was my birthday, and I was just thrashed and hung out all day, probably far longer than I should have. But then from a contextual perspective, probably your Eddie Money.
Oh yeah, that.
Just from a timing and context and when you did that and all that stuff. That's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Well, and that one too was interesting because we were told ahead of time he was only going to give us 15 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we said, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
we'll take
what we
15
can get,
minutes
yeah.
with Eddie Money, sure. And he ended up talking until the show was
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
And then he
Oh,
called us
wow.
back after.
Yeah.
To ask how
Yeah.
he did.
He
yeah.
was something else.
That was
he
really
was incredible.
cool. Yeah,
Just
that was really cool.
genuinely
And Greg Stryker was on
nice.
that.
I don't know who
Yeah,
was
Greg
it. There was
Stryker.
some. I'm trying to remember which episode it was. You guys had like an '80s band on, and like that one episode went ballistic from a numbers
Oh,
perspective.
it was
Charlie
Foghat.
Hune.
Was
No, is that right?
Foghat,
yeah,
right?
Foghat.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, John McGlock.
Yep.
He got us that interview.
Yeah.
He was another
Yeah.
super nice
Yeah.
super nice
He's
guy.
nice. Mhm.
We had Calico Cooper. Now, if we're going to name drop Alice Cooper's
Yeah.
daughter,
Yeah.
she was really cool too. And that was funny because it was with Denise, and Denise at one point called her Calico Corner. She was thinking of a fabric store. It was just like, dude, you just effed up her name. It's not Calico Corner.
Calico Corner. Oh my God.
She was thinking of fabric.
Was she going to make a skirt? A book cover?
Oh gosh. No, we've had some fun times.
Yes.
Hey, talking about names, let's talk about
Yeah.
let's talk about Secret Service
Secret
names.
Service names.
So I recently read an article about how they assign the members of the first family and the presidents and everything, and how they come up with names. And there's an agency that has a list of pre-approved names and choices.
Is Pussy
that they can
Galore
have.
one?
What? What did you? Why is that the one you want?
Yeah, that's mine.
Why?
Okay. So anyway, I have a list of names. I have
All
some
right,
names.
Cardi B.
Hey, speaking of,
Wolves in
she's
this
filed for
She
divorce.
did.
Yeah.
I know. I heard that. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay, go
back.
ahead.
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry, teacher.
I'm used
I
to
know.
naughty children.
Okay,
Look
go
at
ahead.
my teacher face. I'll wait. Anyway, so John F. Kennedy, his name was Lancer.
Now wait, who
Lancer.
assigns the names?
Um,
Is this
I think
part of
they-
like
Do
when
they
you
get
go-
to pick?
No, they don't.
No,
they don't get to pick.
Oh,
I actually,
no?
so I lived in D.C.
Here we
for a
go.
while, and one of my really good friends was a secret, or still is, I believe, a Secret Service agent.
Really?
And so we had yacked about this once upon a time. They don't get to. The people don't get to pick them. They are assigned.
Right.
Oh,
Some
wow.
of them are randomly generated. Some of them are not.
Wow.
So here, listen. I'll give you a couple names, and you see if and you play along too. And maybe you know the name. See if you can tell me who this was. All right.
So bad at history. Oh shit.
Yeah. History.
Let's see. Oh,
She's
the
always
the
tripping
name.
us
I
up
know the name Rawhide.
I believe that was
Clinton.
Reagan.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
You knew
because of
that?
his horse and
Yep.
ranch and all
Yep.
of that.
Because he was the old cowboy.
cowboy.
Movies he did. Yep.
Yeah.
Timberwolf.
My head went straight to the gutter on that rawhide. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Timberwolf.
How do you go to a dark place on rawhide?
I don't know. I
Like,
just
it's-
heard
it's-
hide and rawhide all together. It just-
She went to the ranch. All
I
right.
live in
She
the
went to the
country. And my
ranch.
house went,
No, she's already in a dark place. That's what it was.
They
right.
feel
What
like
was-
we should have
what
had
was
you
it?
guys for the live broadcast at Kink Ball. Yeah.
What was the other one?
Timberwolf.
Timberwolf.
Clinton.
No.
No.
You're going to say Clinton for all
I
these.
know.
Yeah,
No,
she-
Clinton.
Eventually she'll get it right.
I forget.
Bush.
Yeah,
Bush.
H.W. Bush.
Oh.
George H.W.
Okay.
Bush, yeah.
Oh,
Bush Sr.
Yeah, Bush Sr.
I would not know any of these.
His son was the trailblazer.
Oh,
George W. was the trailblazer.
Okay.
Here, I'll give you Clinton. His was Eagle, since you keep asking.
Yeah.
Eagle.
I wouldn't
Eagle.
think.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that
Interesting.
either.
Somewhere I
That's
have
boring.
a friend of mine, so another friend of mine, I coordinated with the Secret Service friend. I have a photo somewhere. You know how like they always do those photo ops, like when the president's like leaving the White House. I've got a photo, like I'm one of the people by the helicopter when Clinton's like going out to like leave.
Wow.
You were?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yep.
Wow.
How'd you
that's-
scan that?
I know.
Well, so I had a friend who was like I said in the Secret Service. Another friend was the sysadmin for Senator Feinstein. So like I used to get like we used to do all of, like the really cool tours that like you like with the tunnels and all that crap.
Oh, wow.
And so yeah, there's a lot of weird. Like DC is a fascinating city.
Interesting.
Wow, that's really cool.
That's a whole nother show, Dave.
We
We'll
need to
hold-
broadcast from DC.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Sure.
They won't let us. They wouldn't let us in
Yeah,
the city.
no.
Maybe after November 5th.
Right.
Oh,
right. Right.
That being said, if you had to have a Secret Service name, let's talk about what would we
Ooh.
name? What would be
I
our
already
Secret
said what
Well,
mine
let's
was gonna
let's
be.
pick them out. What?
All right, what would yours
Pussy
be?
galore.
You
I mean, was I?
you
know,
would not.
You
have
just want to
that.
be a Bond girl
Yeah.
that
You
badly?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's-
is that what that is?
Yeah.
she wouldn't know. She watches
That's-
no movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of the girls from a
Okay.
Bond
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Respect
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Rocky?
I'd be like Adele or like Beyonce. Can you just like? So
Oh.
they'd be like Beyonce's coming, and then people would freak out. And
Yeah.
it'd just be me. They'd be like, "Wah, wah."
I like that. That's
Oh.
I
That's
think
a
we
good
need
one.
like something else though, like another like little code name. So maybe like
Yeah.
Songbird or something, like
Oh.
you know, like
Yeah.
something
Great.
musical
I'll have to come back to that one.
Pepperoni.
or
That
food
would be
Well,
related.
John Paul and I actually
You could
have,
be
we have
pepperoni.
rapper names, and his is Little Pasta, mine's Little Pizza. so
So we can go with little
yeah, we
pizza.
got
Yeah.
Little Pizza's
Yeah,
in the
there you
building.
go.
Little pizza.
Yeah.
What would yours
Pizza to
be?
go.
Jackie's would be tortellini.
Mamma mia.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's a good one. I'll take
Yeah.
There we
that.
go. Right.
What would yours
yours
be?
be?
I don't know.
Pencil sharpener.
Everybody gets something cool. I get this.
I know. Eraserhead.
I'm really glad I brought this
I'm
up.
trying to think of like what was cool. Like when I was like in elementary school, the flip gloss or whatever. It's like you slid it up. It was like lip gloss and it flipped open.
Oh,
Oh.
something to do with lipstick.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
were those
yeah.
called? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Lips.
Lips.
You would
Or
just
wait,
be
what's
lips.
no, you're you have the same color.
Revlon 440 cherries in the snow.
Cherries in the snow.
There you
Cherries in the
go.
snow.
That's a long code
Okay,
name.
so between
cherries in the
Pussy
snow.
Galore and
Cherries
Cherries,
in
this
the
sounds like
snow.
a porn show. right here. Yeah.
We'll
Which
leave it
again
at that.
So
is why I have to explain to people what the Nooner Show is and is not.
And that's why I left teaching before I joined this.
Yep, because you're an alcoholic and you're in
porn.
a porn.
No. Alcoholics go to meetings.
Oh, that's true.
I prefer to think of it as intoxicant enthusiast.
There you go. I like that. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
We got to do a shout out to Vehicle Sound City. Hey, Merck, I know you're on.
Hey, Mark.
They got a big promotion going on today, or maybe today or tomorrow for Sit with the Stranger Day. So tune into their show tomorrow. Are you putting up their links or?
Yep, the link will be up
Okay.
today.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So they have a show tonight. And you're going to be on that show on the 14th.
Cool.
Yeah. You and John Paul.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Right on.
Fighting
Little
over
pasta
the
and
mic.
little pizza.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little pizza,
Yep.
little pasta.
Those guys are pretty
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm a little
Um,
pizza.
You know, I'm so
Never
glad
mind.
we got your birthday show in. You know, you guys' birthday show at what was the name of the place?
Oh, the Willis.
The Willis.
Before,
yeah.
before.
That was
yeah.
so
Yeah.
much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
I
had a
miss
ball.
That place.
I
yeah.
had a
That was
ball.
another night that I was bombed.
Another night he doesn't quite remember.
Oh no, I always remember everything. That's the good touch and the bad touch.
Yeah,
That's-
really.
But I was there.
Uh-huh.
All right, so let's talk about Sit with a Stranger Day for a second here. Rocky, give us a little bit of what is really the whole purpose.
The
and
whole
meaning.
purpose is to sit with a stranger. So to have conversations that you wouldn't normally have outside of your circle. So I think we all, we have our friends and family and our go-to people, but sometimes you need advice that they can't really give you, or maybe they don't have insight on, or maybe you're just insecure about going to them. Like we all know how our friends, family is going to react, We all know when someone's
You want
gonna
to be a
say-
musician?
Yeah,
What?
I know.
Get
Go
a
to
real
college,
job.
Get a real job. And, but it's like having those moments where you're just sitting. I always think about when I'm in New York because that's when I have all my stranger conversations. I'm on the subway or I'm on the bus, and
Do you start it like your mom, or they
Oh
started?
no!
with you?
I never started. No.
Yeah. I knew that.
No, I know. But,
She's
I'm
looking
getting-
down at her phone, pretending, "Dear God, don't talk to me."
No, I've had some cool situations, like especially like in New York. And it's funny because everyone says New Yorkers are so mean. I have never met a New Yorker that was mean to me.
Well, that's
anyway,
cool.
you know what I mean? Like I've always had like.
Gee, everyone's nice to the pretty girl.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Quelle
say that.
surprise.
I was just gonna
hold on,
say
hold on,
that.
hold on.
No, they're
Gasp.
I was just gonna say that.
well, that's very
yes.
nice, Jacqueline. Your
Yes.
phone.
Oh, my phone.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry, guys.
No, I don't know, whatever. Thanks for the compliment. That was very nice, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. But no, I've just
Of
had
course
cool.
she doesn't.
Of course not.
But you just have those experiences, and I think everyone's had those situations where it was like, did that just happen? Like, did we just legitimately have that like life-altering conversation with somebody I'm never gonna see again? Like,
Yeah.
we've all been there, and I think.
And it's not always about talking to somebody you don't know. It's just, getting out of your circle. Like when I went
But
to
I think
go
right
ahead.
now too, in the age of just like of this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where we're
Yeah.
so focused on what's happening here,
Yeah.
and we have the world at our fingertips,
Right.
but we also have the world at our fingertips outside of our phones. So I think having that interaction, and I know like my generation, like we're terrified of actually having a conversation. Like if someone calls me, I'm legitimately mad. Like I'm like, what the fuck did I do to
know.
deserve this call?
My,
Like, you know what I
my
mean?
daughter,
Like-
but no, my daughter says it all the time. She
interesting.
says, if I text you and then you call, why are you calling
Yeah,
me?
no,
Just text me
yeah.
back.
Now,
like I
did you
text
have you watched The Social Dilemma yet?
No, I
No.
have not.
So really, really good, and we talked about that Monday night
Yeah.
too. Where like, and we've said it a million times, we have never been more connected, and yet more
So
isolated at the
disconnected,
same
yeah.
time.
That's
Yeah.
true. Right.
It's true, and I just feel like people are craving that human to human contact. And like, okay, I'm driving, delivering a pizza to a house. Okay, and this is in the midst of the pandemic, so no one's leaving their house. Everyone's like, on lockdown. I am driving down. It's a really bumpy road. This woman pulls over and lets me drive past her, and I wave to say thank you, and then she puts her window down, and we ended up talking for like 20 minutes. And I'm on a
did you
delivery.
sign out?
Your inner Jackie came out.
Yeah,
Wait.
well, and then so we
Yeah,
started
but
talking.
you were
and-
on our clock. Did you sign out?
Hell no, I didn't sign. I was your customer.
Well, and then the pizza got there cold.
Yeah.
And then,
No, and to be fair, I did drop off the pizza. I was on my way back to the store, but I just like this woman, put her window down, and we start talking, and and like literally 20 minutes later, and I my heart kind of went out to this lady because I was like, someone needs to call her. Like, you know what I mean? Like she's clearly been like isolated from her.
Yeah.
We all have been, but
Yeah.
especially for like seniors,
Right.
it was so bad. So
Right.
I ended up just talking to her about, she's having surgery and all this stuff. I literally got the LD on her entire life. Like, and it was just like, I feel like she was like better when she left the conversation. She's like,
Yeah.
you have just the nicest day. And well, she was so sweet.
Yeah.
But it was like,
How did it make you feel?
but
Yeah.
at first I was like, did that just happen? Like I literally got this lady's entire like history and her medical history, and I'm like, I gotta call my sister and find out if it's legal that I know all this information about this. Like, is this a violation? 'Cause I didn't do anything, I swear. Like, but
You are your mother's daughter.
Yes.
Aw.
Even if you try to deny it.
Oh, I don't deny it, but I just
Yeah.
do think that in just the age of we're so on our phones, we don't have
Yeah.
conversation, and I'm so
Yeah.
awkward, but having like being on the show has totally helped me, and just having conversations with people and not being afraid to ask people questions and
Right.
not feel like I'm being intrusive or whatever, because people are dying to tell you. And so I think actually having conversations with people that you don't know, it helps you and it helps them. And there's just, and it's more and more studies are coming out about how disconnected we are. And like you
Yeah.
said, there's a documentary that's just, outlines
I'll have to watch
these
that.
people
well,
coming
honestly,
out.
that's been the biggest thing with me over the course because I go figure I'm a social creature,
No.
and so like
Gas.
Where's my damn bell? Yeah. So yeah, like not being around people and that. So it was
Yeah.
a couple Saturdays ago. I went downriver, got together with some friends, and we were hanging out front in a cigar and martini bar. There were like 4 of us, and a table and a half away was another couple, and the guy was like, "Hey, do you mind?" He's like, "I got to comment on what you're talking about," and like him and his wife like dove into the guy, and we wound up sitting there talking
Isn't
for
that
2
awesome?
hours, and like, and that's the stuff I miss. It's
Yeah.
those random conversations
Right.
that.
Right.
You don't know where they're going to go,
Yeah.
Right.
it's that's that interaction that we
Yep.
need,
Yeah.
and that's also one of the reasons why I think we've seen so much social upheaval and change
Yeah.
over the course of the past 6 months.
Yeah.
And I've said it a million times. The one positive that came out of COVID is that were it not for COVID, George Floyd would have been another stat.
Yeah.
It would have been just another flash in the pan that was forgotten about the next day, but
Yeah.
people were home and fired up and anxious and needed
Yeah.
something to do, and that became a thing.
Yeah.
And that's just another side effect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do think, having a day set aside where we can actually talk about this and celebrate this. And I think it's really important, especially, mental health crises are on the rise just
Right.
with all of this. And it just has to do with the fact that we're lonely.
Right.
And
Yeah.
listen, I am, I'm a hermit, okay? And even and I thought for sure I would be the
Yes,
least
the
affected
person
person by the
affected, yep.
pandemic because I was like, I've been preparing for this
Yes.
my entire life. I wish I was in high school right now and I could just be at home and not have to deal with any of my classmates. Like, I was so prepared, and even I was still
You don't imagine.
affected by
Yeah.
it. So I just
Yeah.
think it's really important. And when we can celebrate this, obviously we don't have to be all socially distanced and all that. Craziness, but I do think it's important, even because they were asking, how should we celebrate, or acknowledge this in the age of a pandemic. I said, just say hi. Just say hi
Yeah.
to someone. Like, you go
Right.
to the grocery store and everyone's just like
Right.
rigid.
That
you know what I mean?
I watched the news report.
Yeah,
And the way
it's-
you described it was exactly
Yeah,
it. The
it's-
energy in the grocery store.
Yeah, it's like you can't
Come on,
go
that was
anywhere,
like
and
my
it's like,
socializing
Yeah.
meeting
Right.
ground.
Well,
you
and
know?
I think because
What's
what
everybody
people
so
can't-
angry about?
But people
Yeah.
can't read your facial expression
True.
because all they
Exactly.
can see are, you
That's
see
your
your eyes.
eyes, yeah.
So if you don't have expressive eyes, like if you can't,
Right.
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
somebody the malocchio or
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or like smile, if you don't have friendly
Well, and that's
eyes,
the
then
thing-
people don't know what
Right.
your intentions are.
Well,
Like,
now,
why are you staring
let
at
me ask you this. Do you get offended when you speak? Because I always speak. My daughter, Martia, I call her my flower child. She talks and speaks to everyone. She's like, oh, you're so beautiful. And
Yeah.
oh, my God. And she's just everywhere.
Yeah.
And, so I always speak when especially when I was living in St. Thomas. When you walk into a store or whatever, you say good morning, good afternoon, or
Right.
good night.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you walk in and don't say it, it's like almost like E.F. Hutton because everybody will look at you and like,
Right.
You're not gonna say nothing?
you're not gonna,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what they do there.
Yeah.
So I'm used to that too.
Yeah.
But I'll go in. I was just in Whole Foods. I called Gina and I went in Whole Foods. I'd never been in Whole Foods before.
Oh my gosh. I love
So
Whole Foods.
I go in and I'm like, oh, this is really nice. So I'm just all
Yeah.
around. I'm speaking to everybody.
Yeah.
I walked in with a lady. I spoke to her. You know,
You did?
but how do you feel? Does it make you feel some kind of way when you do that and they don't speak back? When
Yeah,
they don't
yeah.
acknowledge.
Oh, yeah.
It used to
Yeah.
make me feel so, but now it's like I don't care. It's
Yeah,
like
I don't
that's
care.
me.
I don't
I'm gonna
care.
say hi. If you don't say it back, I'll pray for you because
Yeah.
you're going
Right,
through
yeah.
something.
Yeah,
so-
exactly. Yeah, no,
yeah.
I talk to anybody.
Yeah.
They don't-
Yeah.
and lots of people don't talk back. So
Yeah.
I just
That's
keep
You
what
just
moving.
keep talking.
Yeah.
I just
It's like, hey.
there's somebody's gonna answer.
Yeah.
What's been like an encounter that really kind of blew you away that you didn't expect to happen? Like a conversation, something you learned about a stranger.
Well, I think a few years ago, or how long have you been married to Uncle Mike now?
There we go. There
When
was
he
a
brought you
stranger.
to this
Yeah,
crazy
really.
lady's
That's
house and-
true. And really, that was. I mean, we became friends instantly. That was
Yeah.
18 years
Yeah.
ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because our husbands have been friends forever since the dawn of time, and yeah, and then my husband, I was dating this guy, and he brought me to go meet some friends, and we hit it
Yeah.
off immediately.
Mhm.
Yeah. So and look at here we are.
Yeah.
That's true. And you guys were just kids.
I
You
was
guys
just
were
a baby,
tiny.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were tiny, tiny, tiny. Yeah.
What about you, Nora?
I had a conversation with a lady on a plane, and she was telling me about. I was coming home from St. Thomas for a visit, and she just started talking to me. And you know how you get on the plane and you're like, you're tired because it's an early flight, and you're like, I'm going to sleep, you know. But she just started talking to me, and it was so interesting. She was telling me, well, when I told her I lived there, you know, and I always get this whenever I'm on the plane and they say, so, you know, did you have a good vacation? And it's like, oh, you know, I live here. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
You know, so then they start saying, oh, I wish I could live here. And what made you? And so they want to hear my whole story.
Yeah.
And then, you know, then you start finding out, you know, and they were like, oh, I could never do that. And I'm like, well, why can't you? You know, and so we kind of go back and forth. So I literally had that conversation probably every time I was flying back or coming from St. Thomas, every time.
I mean, Barbados is currently offering incentives if you'd like to relocate there.
Wow,
we
really?
Oh, no, for real. Like, because of all like
Really?
the remote, like, hey, if you can work
Wow.
remotely, why not work remotely from Barbados? Come on down.
Wow.
No.
So we can't do this remotely from Barbados.
We
can.
can't. We
We'll share a
cannot.
room.
You can sit on
You
the
guys,
beach.
it's 103.
Oh, wow.
Our party.
We have to do some
It's
fortune
my
cookies.
We do.
And I brought some little birthday treats.
they
you
went by
another
downstairs.
another guest,
and
Chris
cake.
Bellies.
Oh,
They were
yeah,
here
they
several
were here.
years
It was
ago.
a great story.
So I've
Love
got
Chris
some.
Bellies.
I have some
Wow.
sweets and some
jeez.
croissants of different kinds.
my
Some
gosh.
chocolate filled and.
Yeah,
So Pete.
Berry
I made an
pie.
apple
I
bundt cake,
got
but
it.
I left it in the car.
That's
I
all right.
forgot.
So we've got some sweets,
And I
but
get
we've
cupcakes.
also got some for you. Want to
Thank
toss
you
the
to cook.
cookies?
Yes,
Yeah.
let's
Toss
toss
the
those
cookies.
cookies. Give me a good one. It's my
Here we go.
birthday. It's my birthday.
All right.
Don't be spreading COVID with those little
not.
blowing things.
I'm
All right.
blowing into this.
All
right,
It's not
here we
going
go.
out. You're fine. Here we
Okay.
go.
Oh,
That's
this one's
mine.
the J-Dub one
That's
for sure.
for sure.
All right.
That's
Yes.
Dave.
This one's
All
mine.
right.
This one's yours.
Okay.
Oh, and then you got
Okay,
David's.
so we are booked the rest of the year.
The rest of the year.
Woohoo!
Yep.
You are so much more on the ball than we are.
We know.
If
But you know why? Because we have a Jackie, and she makes us. She's got a list.
I do not have
we,
a
Yes.
Jackie.
we
I-
have a
Yes.
Gina too.
We have a
who keeps
Gina.
that
Yeah,
list
Gina.
organized.
I have a Bob. It doesn't-
Bob
It doesn't
or
work that
Bob.
Yes, a Bob.
Well, yeah, you guys are not on top of it because I really thought there was going to be a little award ceremony for us today.
Yeah, we did.
We
We
were-
thought.
we got dressed up.
Oh, well.
Well,
We did.
we'll
Maybe
see.
next time.
Huh?
No clue. People are like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And even more so these days, people are like, oh, what are you doing next week? I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't.
Yeah.
All right, so let's add 200.
Okay.
Or sit with a stranger.
Or sit with a stranger. When you
Yeah.
sit
Okay,
with a
sit with-
stranger.
when you
Okay,
sit with
you
when
go
you sit with
first,
stranger.
birthday girl.
Okay. Ooh.
Ooh. You got a good
Ooh.
one?
Yeah.
Me too.
You will meet an important person who will help you advance professionally when you sit with the stranger.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's right. It's going to happen today.
It's like
Very
speaking of
good.
Rocky.
Oh.
You can help me, Rocky?
Yeah.
Good, because I got a list here for
A
you.
big
God.
fortune will descend upon you this year when you sit with a stranger.
Very nice.
That means they're going to have a pocket full of money.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Turn it over. The numbers on the back.
Nope.
Mine says a cheerful letter or message is on its way to you when you sit with a stranger with a check.
Oh,
Was that on there? Did it say check?
No, but I'm gonna add that
Oh,
part.
yeah.
That's
National
important.
Check Day. That's what it should
That'll
be.
be our next
Right.
holiday.
Right.
And mine says new and rewarding opportunities will soon develop for you when you sit with a stranger.
Oh, good
Oh,
one.
That is a
Dave?
good one.
Dave.
You will enjoy peace and harmony in life.
I don't
When you
believe
sit
that.
When you
with a
sit with a
stranger.
stranger.
Dave, I don't think that was yours. That wasn't meant for you.
Right.
I have a lot of just because I have a lot of chaos doesn't mean I don't have peace and
Yes,
harmony.
me too.
It's
I
organized
know, I
chaos.
know.
Organized
Organized
chaos. Right.
chaos.
Yep.
It's just my normal state of being. So I'm calm through it. Like nothing
right.
phases me anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's 20. Dude,
I
it's
kinda
2020.
Like you, Dave.
Yeah.
There's a UFO in New Jersey. Whatever.
Yeah.
Hey,
2020.
There's, you know,
Yeah.
random
Wait.
The aliens
rips
are
in the
taking over,
time-space
it's
continuum
fine.
happen.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wait,
2020.
So what's on the bucket list for the rest of the year?
Survival.
Right.
Survival.
I'm going to stay with my plan as taking it as it comes.
Yep. All right. Next year we have to think of the new year. We're gonna have a whole different approach.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next year. We're
We're
not
gonna
even
be
talk
prepared.
about it. We're just,
It's gonna be.
I was just going to say, I'm not going to say
it's
a
not
thing.
happening.
It'll be. We'll take it as it comes.
Yep.
Yep.
2021, right?
Yeah.
Take it as it
Okay.
comes.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
There are silver linings though in everything. So.
Jackie?
And I
Lots of
want to
happy
thank
birthday,
you guys.
Jackie.
Aw, thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Love you so
Thank
much.
you.
Somebody's
Yes.
birthday.
Thank you.
I wonder who.
Wow.
She's laughing, smiling, eating and drinking wine too.
Ooh.
It's somebody's
Cheers.
birthday.
Cheers, girl.
Cheers to you.
Cheers, cheers.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Thank
birthday,
you.
Jackie.
Happy
Thank you.
200.
And
Yeah.
Happy 200. Thank you, ladies.
Woo.
I adore you guys, just so you know.
We love you too.
I
We
love
love
you
you
guys.
too.
I adore you guys. And
Thanks for
Rest-
the opportunity.
hey, the rest of the year, we have some amazing interviews. So just wait.
Yes.
Wait. Out
Yes.
of COVID. Get out of this.
Yes.
Get out of your bunkers because we're
Thank
back
you, all
in
my
business.
friends,
back
for
in
watching.
Thank
on
you,
the watch
everybody, for
party.
the birthday
Love you
wishes
guys.
and everybody that's tuned in here. Really
Yep.
appreciate
Thank you,
it.
everyone.
We are going to
Aw.
have some
We got
Treats
somebody
from
from
Crispelli's
Omaha.
and-
Hey, Kevin.
From
Hey,
Omaha.
go.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah, and Mark's on. Our buddy Gail. Hi, Gail. Gail, I'm dropping off food today for you and T.
And I have a
And
cake.
George and Jen McGlock. We got a bunch of people. Hi,
Thank
Liv.
you.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, yes.
Olivia and
Olivia.
David bought a house.
Woo!
Signed, sealed,
Congrats.
delivered.
Beautiful
She
house.
called me on my way. She's
yes.
like, "Hey, are you
That's
coming over?" I was like,
exciting.
"Olivia, I have the Nooner show today."
It's like
Yeah.
having
Like, this
kids.
day
It
is
is
not
both
about
the
you,
best and
okay?
worst
Olivia-
decision you will ever make in your life.
Make
Yeah.
sure you have my room ready.
Yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful house.
Oh, I'm
Yes,
sure.
such a cool house.
No,
Oh.
it's so funny because they're signing today. So
They
we
already
said, "Are you moving tomorrow?
Yeah.
Will you be out tomorrow?"
Yeah, I need
No.
John Paul to be out of my back.
We're gonna be sad. We're gonna be sad. But
Aw.
hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hey, AC, Kevin Sharp,
Thanks, everybody.
Lots of
Jason
people
Heartless.
watching.
Those
Thanks,
guys
Mayor,
those
for
guys
tuning.
are
Wayne,
part of
the barber.
video.
Yep.
and Greg Stryker
Yep.
too.
Game
so,
changers. Check all
yeah.
that out.
And Gordon is on
Thanks,
from
Helen.
Ready for the World. He's on too.
Woohoo!
Wow. All
All
right,
right,
so
guys. Thank you guys
yes.
so much. And sometimes your only available mode of transportation.
is a leap of faith.
Thanks for taking a leap of faith with us.
What was that?
And
A
happy
little bit of
hump
wine.
day.
A little bit of wine. Now put that COVID somewhere. So I'm doing that COVID at me.